So introducing the new vehicle on the channel, this is our 2022 Mustang GT Premium, and this guy rips. So full disclosure, this is actually my wife's vehicle. She is the one who's the Mustang lover on the channel, who go figured. But yeah, this is her new daily driver. We're out here in Malibu. Wanted to go for a quick drive up in the canyons. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Figured this would be a great time to introduce this vehicle on the channel officially. It has been in the background of some videos, but hasn't really been the main focus. So yeah, this is the new vehicle on the channel. Quick specs about this vehicle. I'll have the horsepower and torque down below. You're not here for all of that. I will say the 2022 is down by 10 horsepower and 10 torque compared to the previous year. People think it's because of emissions. They had to do a couple of different things. But moral of the story is, it's still a relatively fast vehicle. You're probably wondering, why in the world did we get this vehicle when we did have the 2017 Mustang GT convertible on the channel? And it's kind of a long story, but really to make things short, when my wife got that 2017, we kind of knew from the beginning that wasn't going to be the end-all be-all vehicle. It was kind of more of a stopgap. She had so much equity inside of the Veloster, wanted to get out of that and get into something different. She's always liked Mustangs, so she said, hey, I'm gonna give this a shot. So she did get to 2017, the GT, because if you guys are OG subscribers, you will know even before she had the Veloster, she was looking at Mustangs back when we were on the East Coast. I gave that a try. We both knew that wasn't going to be the end-all be-all for her when it came down to vehicles. Really kind of a stopgap, especially now, really killing off all of the V8s inside the Chargers and Challengers, and with Chevrolet killing off the Camaro. She knew from that point on, she wanted to get another Mustang, a newer Mustang, and kind of have that be the vehicle that's going to be like the one that she's going to keep. Even if, you know, down the line she gets another vehicle, she pretty much said this guy is the one she wants to keep for a very long time. That's going to be like the long-term car. I want to mention though too, I literally just saw a Cybertruck for the first time in real life just drive past us on PCH. I really wish I would have had the camera going for that. That was really cool. It was going in the opposite direction. Anyways, so I want to say, yeah, so we've had this Mustang now for maybe a month now, but I was able to go on a road trip up to Vegas from SoCal. And in that time, I had a lot of seat time in this vehicle, especially on the highway. It really gave me a chance to kind of learn the vehicle a lot more. And I can say this thing is wonderful on the open road. Now, would I say I would choose this over, you know, our road trip vehicle, the Ram Rebel, on like long hauls? Probably not. End of the day, this is still like, you know, a two-door coupe, so it's not going to be like a giant luxury vehicle. But I will say, and I know I said this before in my video when I was comparing the Camaro to the Challenger to the Mustang, because at this point in time, we've had all three. I still think the Mustang is the best overall. If you want to compromise between comfortability and also performance, I really think the Mustang, it fits perfectly right in between both of those guys. I will say on the open highway, man, this thing, it rips. The only negative thing about that is just when you're out there driving, it does make you want to go faster, just because this thing, especially on the top end, there's so much power on the top end. It's kind of ridiculous. Of course, there are vehicles that are faster than this. I'm not saying it's the fastest thing in the world. To your average Joe, this car can track down just about any car on the highway, especially on long open stretches where this thing can really stretch its legs. It just wants to go. Not many cars I can say really stretches itself out on the top end, but this guy definitely wants to. Other livability things about the vehicle, I mean, this guy is like fully optioned as the lane keep assist, the adaptive cruise control, heated seats, everything. Like, this guy is like fully loaded. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect under any stretch of the imagination. Still have some weird quirks. The Sync 3 system still, like, this was happening to her other Mustang where sometimes the Apple CarPlay just would not connect. I spent like 20 minutes trying to get the Apple CarPlay to connect, wouldn't connect. And happened in her old cars, happening in this car too. So that just kind of sucks. Don't get me wrong, this car is not perfect under any stretch of the imagination, but as far as a V8 performance vehicle that still has mostly, I would say, a nice interior, you know, this car really does check those boxes. Really with her, she already knew she wanted a Mustang, so I think we both knew she wasn't going to go for like the brand new one. We knew that we still wanted like a pre-owned Mustang, a clean one that we can find. And actually originally at first, I think she was looking at the orange one, orange color. She likes kind of these weird quirky colors, like an orange and like a green. I know even before we looked at like an EcoBoost when she got that 2017, there was like an EcoBoost orange one she did like. Her plan was to wrap the other Mustang orange, but after we both kind of figured, probably not going to keep this for very long, we just didn't do it. So she was looking actually at orange, but then after looking at this blue is beautiful, and I'm actually really happy that she did get this color. Now with me, I told her I'm not going to influence you either way or anything. It's totally your decision. But yeah, we did find this vehicle. It was at a dealership. That dealership is actually really cool. They had a lot of cars. Saw another GTR, was it a Bronco Raptor? They had, I think, a couple C8s and stuff like that. They had a whole bunch of stuff there, so that was pretty cool. Did the test drive, she loved it. And I will say a couple things about this thing. One, this exhaust sounds really, really good for stock. I still love the fact when you put it inside the different modes, you know, it opens up the valves and everything like that. But this thing, especially on cold start in the morning, this thing sounds great. And the other thing is though, it drives so much better than the other Mustang. Even taking this thing out here, this thing feels great. Even though the roads are a teeny bit wet, I don't know if you could tell, there's like some slippage and down there, and behind me you could probably see it's kind of misty, so it's can't go super hard. But even taking this thing out here, this thing feels wonderful out in the canyons. But honestly, the goal of this vehicle is just to keep it, I would say, pretty much stock. Maybe do some aesthetic mods to it, make it look a little bit better. But overall, this is really my wife's vehicle. Use it as a nice daily driver and kind of just preserve it, just kind of because of, let's face it, V8 cars like this, especially with the new regulations, we don't know how much longer they're going to be in production. Really, Ford is holding on to the only one to be like, we're gonna keep making the V8s inside the Mustang. So yeah, you know, I think the goal really is to kind of just preserve this Mustang and just kind of just use it, you know, so nothing too crazy. I don't expect us to do anything too crazy in it, but I will say having this Mustang has really kind of solidified me being like, I want to sell my C5 Corvette, just because of this thing does everything the Corvette can do, but way better. Like, this thing puts the Corvette to shame, which makes sense. It's, you know, 2022, it's like 22 years of production and manufacturing and everything like that, and just advancement. So makes sense though. But I think for me, really, it kind of makes it easier for me to kind of get rid of the C5, just because of this thing behind me is just so much better. But speaking of taking the Mustang out into the canyons, check this video out. This was the last time we took the 2017 and the C5 Corvette out in the canyons. The last time we really got both of those vehicles out here and really kind of put them through their paces and just see how they both did compared to each other. Check this video out. See you in the next one.